Hi everyone. So today we are going to solve those two-steppers just like we did in class, and you probably freaked out a little bit in class when we had one like this. When we had one like this at the end, it was our third example. So I'm going to go through another one like this, drawing a picture and using algebra. And what you want to keep in mind, and I brought some things to show you, is, it's right here if I can get it, you might freak out and throw stuff. You might freak out and scream loud. And you might look like this lady. Okay? Those just made me laugh, so I had to show you those. So let's start in and take a look at the problem we have. So freak out and throw stuff, let's not. We'll be okay. We're together. Okay? So let's draw a picture. So the picture, we start out by drawing X. Okay? Sorry, I keep laughing because I keep thinking back to what I had down there. Freak out and scream loud! Are you already screaming? You'll be alright. Ah! Okay, Miss Eberly, focus. Okay, let's look back up here. So we have X, and it says to divide it up into 5 parts. Okay, so instead of writing X in there, I'm going to write it on the outside, and then I'm going to split it into 5 equal parts. So I'm going to try my hardest. Wow, I did a good job. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts, and I'm going to take one of those parts, one of the parts, X cut up into 5, one of those parts. I need to subtract off 3. So from this one part, I'm going to take off 3. So that part right there is worth 3. So I'm writing it in, pointing to you that that part's worth 3. And then what we have left, when we take off that 3, what we have left in that chunk right there is negative 10. So this chunk right here is negative 10. So how do we work backwards here? Well, I could figure out how much this one chunk is worth because I know this much is negative 10 and I know this much is 3. So what would I do with negative 10 and 3? My first step would be to add those together. And that's going to give me, on the number line, I'm going negative 10, adding 3, turning around. So I'm really subtracting them and getting 7, but it landed in the negative, so negative 7. So I know that this one chunk is worth negative 7 by adding those two together. So now if I know that this is worth negative 7, then I know this is worth how much? You're right, negative 7. Like, I said that? Yeah, you did. That's worth negative 7, which means what's this one worth? Negative 7, because they're all the same. Negative 7, negative 7, negative 7. So if I'm trying to figure out what X is worth, X was this whole thing, so what would I do with negative 7? You could either add it 5 times, or I just take negative 7 times 5. And I end up with negative 35 for my X value. Whoa, cool! Okay, let's go ahead and solve it using algebra to see we get the same thing. So I have X over 5 minus 3 equals negative 10. Psh, put my line down. I rewrite it out and leave a little bit of space. Leave some space. Negative 10, leave some space. Okay, X wants to be alone. Minus 3 is going bye-bye. How? Who's coming into the problem? The addition by 3 on both sides. Keep it equal. So now when I look at these two, I say, hey, you're opposites. You're 0. So I'm left with just X divided by 5. And then on this side, negative 10 plus 3, we already did that earlier, and that was negative 7. And now X is almost alone. It needs to get rid of this division by 5. It's like, please, get off of me, get away from me. I don't want you here anymore. I want to be alone. So who's flying in? What operation? Multiplication is coming to save the day. the inverse operation of division. And which number is coming along with it? 5. Say bye-bye. If I do that to one side, I need to do it to the other. So then I am left with x equals negative 35. I'm like, awesome! That's cool! I'm done. I got what x is, and I figured it out 2 different ways. But you know what? You're still not done. Why? Because you have to check it and get that joyous moment. So I have x over 5 minus, what was it, 3 equals negative 10. And now we plug in what we got for x, negative 35. So I'm going to plug in right here, negative 35. Negative 35 over 5 minus 3, and we are questioning it whether we think that's negative 10. So negative 35 divided by 5, do that first, order of ops, different sign, so it's going to be negative, and 35 divided by 5 is 7. Now I don't have a joyous moment yet, because they're not the same, so did we do it wrong? No, because we still have to subtract 3. So negative 7 minus 3 on the number line, we're hoping it's negative 10. I go negative 7, and I need to subtract, which means I keep going. Which really means I just add 7 and 3 together, and it's going to be negative 10. Which means they are the same, so I have my moment of joy. Yes! So we're going to practice this stuff tomorrow in class. Over and over and over and over and over and over and over. So be ready. Okay? You got this, people. You got this.